3 people were killed and at least 15 more were injured following a strike in Gaza's Rafah that damaged a car carrying supplies. We heard a big explosion, and when we got there, we found the car as you can see it. The car contained flour, tomatoes, and meat. It was all for daily sustenance. There were no missiles. They weren't delivering missiles. They were unarmed people. Everyone witnessed that those guys were trying to provide for their families. They were not terrorists. They didn't want to fight Israel or even carry missiles. They bombed the car. We are scared. We don't want war. Injured Palestinians were transported to the Kuwaiti hospital in Gaza for urgent medical attention, as others surrounded the damaged car, trying to salvage what was left of the food and supplies. Meanwhile, World Health Organization and UN officials who visited the Al-Aqsa hospital in the Gaza Strip on Sunday, January 7th, reported seeing large numbers of wounded being treated by very few staff and called for more protection for medical centers.
I'm in Al-Aqsa hospital in the middle area of Gaza, the middle part of the Gaza Strip, in the emergency department where they're treating children, several children on the floor and on a gurney behind me, doctors calling out for scalpel and chest tubes. Many people coming in from an explosion. There's one child who unfortunately passed away whose body is not identified, and it's, as you can see, a chaotic scene. Unfortunately, this area is close to an area that was evacuated yesterday. An evacuation order was issued, and they've lost a lot of their staff. This hospital is currently operating with about 30% of the staff that it had just a few days ago. They are seeing, in some cases, hundreds of casualties every day in a small emergency department. Yesterday they said they had one doctor working overnight in this emergency department with hundreds, in some cases, of casualties coming in on a daily basis. Even though many of his staff have left, even though this hospital is under enormous pressure, the one request that the hospital director said is that the international community needs to make sure that this hospital and other hospitals like it stay protected, that they not get struck, that they not get evacuated, that they're able to continue functioning. That's the critical message for today.
The Al-Aqsa hospital remains to be crucial in the middle part of the embattled enclave in providing the much-needed life-saving services, said the World Health Organization, pleading that it must remain functional and free from any forms of hostility. The United States and its allies in the Group of Seven are seeking a quick way out of the military phase of the Gaza conflict, as U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and his EU and German counterparts toward the region. Blinken was holding talks on Gaza in the United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia on Monday before heading on to Israel, aiming to kickstart concerted peace efforts that he says are needed to avoid a wider conflagration. Blinken began a 5-day Middle East diplomatic effort in Jordan and Qatar on Sunday, his 4th visit to the region since the deadly October 7th attacks on Israel by Hamas.